And now, without further ado, I have the distinguished honor and privilege of presenting to you the Queen of Color, the Mother of Artists, globally acclaimed, award-winning master acrylic artist, and the star of our show, Ginger Cook, as she once again mesmerizes her audience with the daring do's and don'ts of painting with acrylic. Well, Ginger, are you ready for another exciting evening at the Palette?
Hey, yeah, I am, John. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our acrylic. What's it interesting?
What?
Acrylic. What are we doing here? We're doing a acrylic painting show. That's what we're doing.
Cool.
And it's a lesson. It's a show, you guys. So there's lots of stuff happening. We've got a live audience. So for those of you who are watching this later, keep in mind the live audience asks questions. That's why they tune in live to not only chat with each other. They've made, if you're part of our live audience, chances are you've made friends from people all around the world that are artists that share your interests and likes. And it's great fun just to say hi to that group. If you have a question, we ask you to put it in capital letters. This is if you're doing the live thing. And our moderators say hi to Wendy and Kimson and Tony, maybe? Kimson? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, close enough.
And I don't know why. I want to call it Samsung. I don't know. So anyway.
For a person that owns an Apple phone. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So anyway, because our moderators help the questions get to you. Sometimes they'll answer them.
The sound's a bit distorted.
Yeah.
Very loud. Okay, let's bring her down. How's my sound? Am I sounding good, or is she just too loud? Talk for a second, Ginger.
I'm going to talk a little bit. We're trying to regulate the sound.
Yes, we had to change the sound settings for yesterday's show. Wow, very loud. Okay, we're going to go a little lower. Had to turn down, say she was mushy on the mic. Let's bring that down.
Better?
Talk to me again there, Ginge.
I'm talking. All right. Yeah, we had a different show last night, so we had to change the microphone settings. This is all, when you do live, it's not like we pre-record and go back and edit. This is just part of the fun of live shows.
This is what you get.
This is what you get, you guys. But on the other hand, it's more fun. It's a little bit of element of danger. Danger.
I sound good. Is she sounding better?
Do I sound better?
Good. You, her loud.
I'm loud.
You, her loud. So you're still loud.
I'm still loud.
John sounds perfect.
But I can talk quieter.
Thank you. John's fine. Ginger's still loud. Ginger, you're never this loud. Okay, go again.
I'm going to just talk like this. How's that? I don't know. All right, we'll just keep going. All
right, we'll go with it. Keep us posted on it, will you, please?
We'll try to adjust. Remember, you got a knob on your TV too, or your dial.
Well, they've all turned them down.
Okay. So here's what we got.
What do we got? Do you want me to shoot down?
Doing a beautiful, beautiful tree branch. I'm going to hold it up so you can see it. This is what we're painting, and it's on an 8x10 canvas. Now the caveat is that some of you look at this and say, "Oh, I never could draw that," but you don't have to, because I'm going to show you how to do a traceable on this. You go to our website, gingercooklive.gallery. There is a traceable. Where would they find that, John?
That's right on our website. Should be on the home page, and there's a link in our description.
Okay, so you guys want to catch that later? Just watch the live show. Maybe later come back tonight and try painting it. Sometimes it helps to watch it all the way through, and do that. That can be very nice. So we can suggest that. We certainly had a good time with Daniel last night, and we want to again thank everybody for joining us. If you didn't catch last night's show, Daniel Elliott is the manager of Jerry's Artorama. He's just an encyclopedia of knowledge of everything art. I want to call him the Art Wizard, for just Mr. Art Wizard, because he really knows.
I think it's a good title.
He knows so many about all, like I know a lot about acrylics, but I don't know diddly squat about oil or, oil pastels or some of these other things. But Daniel just has this encyclopedia of knowledge of everything, and he'll be on our shows, live shows, at least once a month. We're going to try to have him as a guest artist. If there's a particular burning question, you can always write us, and we'll give him those write-in questions too, so that your question can be answered. So, and also you could just call him up too. We put his number in the video. Just throw him under the bus. So tonight we're going to be painting those things. So let's these flowers, these apple blossoms. And so if you'd like to just kind of John, scroll down to our desk.
One second.
Good. We'll come down here, and the first thing we're going to do with our 8 by 10 canvas, right, is we're going to just give it a quick background. And one of the things, and then we're going to trace on the flowers. Now you'll notice that this background is this very light green with a little darker area over here, all right? And this is almost what I would call almost a lime green, all right? Now you don't see any green on our palette. We've got yellow oxide, cad yellow medium, dazzling purple, ultramarine blue, phthalo blue, burnt umber, magenta, and cad red medium, and those are pretty much the colors we always use. Someone says, please put them in the description. Oh, you know, you guys, it's the same colors. So if you do something weird, we'll tell you, but mostly this is what we're going to do. And to get a big background like that, so I'm going to try one of these new brushes from Cinnamon. Just any bright brush would work, though. If you don't have one of these, here's a ruby satin silver, and this is a number 12. This one's a little bit bigger. This is a number 30. And this is the new Art Sherpa White Bristles. And if those of you who are not aware of it, Cinnamon's my daughter, and I'm not just doing this because if I didn't like her brushes, them, I just would never show them, right? I have some truth. When I tell you this, I want you to know that I speak truth here, my truth. And my truth is I quite love these. They were specifically designed over months and months of research for acrylic paintings. The first time any brushes have been done that. And they are really the Ferrari of brushes, and they are now available on the Brush Guys. If you use my code, GingerCook,
all one word,
at the Brush Guys, they ship all over the world, and our European friends tell us that that's less money from them than they can buy this in either the United Kingdom or in Germany. They say these guys have the best prices, even with the $25 shipping. So there you go. I'm going to wet the brush, and then I'm going to get some yellow because I want to start off.
Okay, wait.
Yeah.
You wet the brush and then you wiped it off, did you not?
I did, John. That's a good point. I'm going to put a little bit more water on it again. A little bit more water on it again, because this particular paint, my yellow is in a jar, Matisse jar. Now, if you ever do the math, it's like anything. The bigger the container, the cheaper the stuff inside is, because for some reason, sometimes when you buy a jar of something, you can get a full tube of paint, almost if you do the math. The thing is, can you get it all out before it all goes bad? That's the big question. Depends
well, if you
on
got, if you know you're going to do a big project, it'd be worthwhile buying.
The jars are. Yeah, I think jars are good, and also a very neat person. If you always have a clean spoon for each jar and you don't contaminate them, it's a great idea.
That would be for the sock folders of the family.
All right, now we're going to try a tiny bit of ultramarine blue, okay, and a tiny bit, just a hair of the phthalo blue. Now we've got pretty bright lime green. So let's get some white and put with that. Now this light, we're going to lighten this up, and then we're going to get just a drop, notice it just barely, of a little bit of magenta, and that's going to gray this out. Just put a tiny bit. Can you see it on my brush there? Just that little drop.
No. Where are you holding it? Okay, over there we can see it.
Can you see it? See that little drop?
Yeah.
And I'm going to add that to that. Now I've got this sort of grayed.
That works very well doing that way.
Yeah. Now I'm going to just take this brush. And look, I'm pushing pretty hard. I think I want a little more phthalo blue in that, so just kind of warm that up just a bit.
Somebody asked, do the bristles stain? Yes, they do.
A little bit, yeah, they're going to stain a little bit. All white bristles.
But that doesn't affect the painting.
That does not affect your painting. Now, you'll notice that we're going to come over here. Let's grab a little white and mix it right on the canvas, like that. Maybe right here, too. I'm going to lighten this up. Pushing pretty hard. Now, that's nice, isn't that? That's a pretty color, isn't it? Nice, bright, beautiful green color. Now, and I want you to see how much paint this brush holds. I mean, this is really nice. It's covering this lickety-split. Now,
lickety-split. Love it.
We've been saying that a little bit, lickety-split.
Lickety-split.
I don't know. You guys probably, this is the, you know when people are getting older, because they always tell you about how it used to be. Everybody's going, please stop with the it used to be stuff, right? Now I'm going to take the same thing, a little drop of the brown, put in there, just a tiny drop of the burnt umber, maybe a little more white. I think I want to lighten this up just a bit more, maybe even some white right on here. Lighten this area up just a bit more. Now I'm going to take my brush and wipe it off. Now let's get a little bit more ultramarine blue in here, and a little bit phthalo, a little more yellow. Let's make a darker green, so we're going to take a little bit of brown to that. Let's make a darker green color. Now what I want to do here is just using the flat of the brush while this is still wet, I want to suggest I don't know, some just dark shadow areas here on this side of the canvas like that. And then maybe I'll come up here like this and just suggest maybe some leaves coming up here just with the side of it like that. Let's say that there's some leaves here, just kind of like shadows on a background. Now what I'll do with the rest of this is I'll just take the brush, because look how much paint there is on this. Aren't you just amazed? Look at that. And then somebody says, why do you paint the sides? Well, if you were doing a gallery wrap, you would paint this. You always paint the sides, but sometimes you can't afford to frame something yet. You're going to get an 8x10 frame somewhere, a deal. You haven't got it yet. This is just, you're going to throw this down the sink anyway. You don't do this first, you do this last. You just come up here and then you say, because look how much paint is in that brush. I haven't gotten any more paint. See that? And then, I mean, that's just pretty. Well, let's just see. Can we go again? And I'm just sort of cleaning off the brush. In other words, I can put it down the sink or in the water bucket, or I can do this. Now, look at that. What a great brush. And it's still holding its edge. Look at that. I love that. So that's, now I need another darker coat on top of this, but not yet. How's that? I need something a little darker in some areas, but we'll do that on its own. But we sort of got this going. So this brush is now going in water. It's going to sit over here by itself in water. Now I want to show you what a gallery wrap canvas is. This is going to come up. This is a gallery wrap canvas. This is a, what was it, 1.5 inches wide. They're not all that wide. These are one of our, this is the newest.
Well, I can say I haven't seen that one before.
Yeah, this is the newest in our village pieces. And this is the candy store, the sweet shop. See the little bird up here? And we got the little snowman. And if you haven't seen these are available for sale. They're, there's our little, look at that. See how cute these are? And we've got a bakery. We've got a whole series of these. How many do we have now, John? Like 6?
Yeah.
We haven't we've released everything but the sweet shop, which I just finished today. But you see how the bakery's got the cake coming around? Look how cute these are together. And of course we have the toy store, the fountain. I just wanted to show you these because these are available on our website. If you go to, how are they going to find these? Because you don't quite have them up on our store, but they're available.
Right, just contact us for right now.
Just contact us and we'll send you the link because John didn't quite get them in the store, but they are available to get. And members, if you're a member, gingercooklive.gallery, be sure to ask us for your discount. So here these are, and we'll show more. And these are all, like I say, gallery wrap, and you literally wrap the picture around the side of the painting. So someone is going to ask us, if you're new to us, you're going, what's the deal here? We also have, besides doing our YouTube videos, we have a Academy of Fine Art and where we teach acrylic lessons from the very beginner, never touched a paintbrush, clear to some pretty advanced lessons, and you get personal art coaching. It comes with personal art coaching, and which is really cool. And we have I think probably over 325 lessons available. And it is such a deal. And if you're in Australia or Canada, you get special pricing. By the way, I want to mention that. We have special pricing, a special page for you guys. Because
you're special.
Because the exchange, we just felt bad the exchange rate was so off. We just didn't feel that was fair to you guys, so we did that. And incidentally, this is what's coming up for our weekly members next Thursday. This is or Thursday or Friday, we'll get this released. What do you guys think? Is that cool? That's our new still life. And again, this is one of our old dead guys. And I'll tell you. Yeah?
Judy's asking for the members that were the yearly members that did the silver plan last year, can they get the village set as part of their free download? Yes, you can.
Yeah. If you did the silver yearly plan, you get them for free as your part. You get 12. We did a thing last Christmas where if you signed up for a year during the month of December, you got 12 free downloads during the year. You could use them, one a month, or you could use them all in December. You had 12 months to use them. And of course you can have these as part of your free downloads. Absolutely. Don't you love this? Isn't that just adorable? So cute. So now that being said, here. we've got to dry this.
Okay, wait. We have one other question.
Yeah.
Judy's asking, I see Ginger uses brights, angles, and rounds. Does she ever use flats and filberts?
A lot of, filberts. This is a filbert, in case somebody wants to know. That's that sort of rounded brush here.
I call that the cat tongue.
Like a cat tongue, I guess. They're really nice for portraits and stuff because they don't leave any kind of marks. Depends what you're painting, but 99% of the time, I use these nifty little angle brushes because I can use those for everything. These little angly ones. like this. This is one of my favorite sizes. I use that. And in fact, I've got a video on YouTube on my favorite brushes and stuff. But I've been very fond of, your brushes will wear out. Now this is the thing. This is a news flash, you guys. And brushes wear out. This is why we sand the canvases to make them last longer. And the better the brush, the less likely it is to wear out. Just saying, all right? So that being said, maybe we should go ahead and dry this. We're excited about that. Hope everybody's excited about what we're going to paint today. John, I take it you have that up in the corner, right?
Yeah, hold on a second. The Art Sherpa is on to say hello and doing a great job, and Spider's on and wanted to let you know that he's watching Grandma do some work.
Oh, that's great, Spider. Well, hi, Spider. That's my grandson, Spider. Big hugs and kisses to him, and hi, Cinnamon. Love that. And you got to see us. I hope you got to see us paint this whole background with this one. This is the one we used, your brush, to paint.
That'd be a number
background.
30.
Number 30 background. So now we're going to dry, but big hugs and kisses to everybody.
Thank you.
So thanks very much, and we'll keep drying.
I'll mute you now. All right, we have her muted for a moment. We appreciate that. I did not get a chance to get things set up. We're still compiling a big video that we want to get up for the weekend. It's going to be showing the Sherpa brushes. Ginger did a complete painting with a whole set of them. We wanted you guys to be able to see that, and we're still compiling out, and hopefully that will get up in time for the weekend. The holiday special that we had last year is going to go out to those members again to see if they want to renew. We only have a limited number of slots that we offer that for. And depending upon how many people take us up on the renewal, or if more spots are available, we will open that up again to the general public. And watch our website as the holidays get nearer for more information.
Okay, so
No. Now you can talk.
all right, we're unmuting. It's all right. Here's our. So do I have any scissors in here?
What?
Do I have scissors somewhere?
Oh.
No? Yes? No? Something? All right, here's our traceable. The reason I like scissors is that kind of, I can fold this, but.
No. I would not hear of it.
Thank you. All right. So here's some scissors. We're going to just cut this. This is an 8x10. So somebody asked John, they said, how do they print out an 8x10? I guess it depends on your printer, does it not? But basically the idea is that you tell the printer what you want it to print, the size basically. Yeah? And one of the things we love about our printer, I got to tell you, our printers, Hewlett, is it HP? Yeah.
Yes.
Has come out with five different printers. So they started at $98 to buy one. What kills most of us on printing is the ink. They give you a cheap printer, and then good luck trying to pay for the ink. But Hewlett-Packard didn't count on us artists getting it. So what they did was they said, well, you can have so many copies. Didn't care if it was. They keep track of how many you print for like $5, $4.95 a month. So I mean, you can print just boatloads of colored pictures, which is absolutely super. And they don't care if it's black and white or color. Because probably 90% of the people they ever deal with are painting, are using it for business, black and white. And us artists, we have a link on our website and our store. If you're interested in knowing, we found these on Amazon. John and I each have one. We use that, and they're so fantastic. So you see, I'm putting this Sorel transfer paper here, putting my picture over the top. I'm going to take a little tape and tape it down. But one of the things I want to do is make sure I have a pen to paint this in, to draw this in with. I like how we just get so organized with everything, don't you? Here's a pen. I found one. Look at that. Let's see.
Spider wants to know if Grandma is going to make a rapping song about all her paintings. He thinks that would be fun. Also says, love you, Grandpa. You are the best. Ooh, that'd be me.
Oh,
I'm the best.
You are the best, John. All right, that's just lovely. Well, I don't know, Spider. Maybe I'll have to.
This is an interesting conversation. Just the other day, Ginger and I were looking at the YouTube artists, and we noticed that all the musicians have got millions of subscribers. I mean, literally thousands of them. And we're saying we want 50,000 by the end of the year. You can see our current count right now at 41,099. And we're going to start singing every show until we reach 50,000. And we assure you, you don't want to hear us singing for 9,000 shows if we get one subscriber per show. I'm just saying.
Would really help us out here, you guys, if you would love to.
Row,
I like that
row,
idea.
row your boat gently down the stream. See, we're going to keep going.
Yeah, maybe Spider would write me a song.
I think it'd be great.
It, you know, he's very clever that way. That whole family, you know, Cinnamon's husband, John Cooney, is extremely musical. And his mom actually is in a choir that went and sang at the Vatican. And I mean, John has like perfect pitch. And I got to tell you a funny story about Cinnamon's husband, John. Back when they were first dating, because years ago, we all went out to a movie theater together, kind of mom and dad and Cinnamon and John, and we went out to a movie theater. And John goes, "Something's not right." We're going, "What?" Cinnamon and I thinking the theater must be on fire or something. Like, what's wrong? He says, "One of the speakers isn't on." "What speaker?" "One of the speakers. Can you hear the movie?" "Yes, but I want my money back. All the speakers aren't working."
I can relate to that.
I know you can, but I mean, the thing is, he could hear it. I mean, Cinnamon and I go, "You can hear the movie." It kind of reminds me of the kind of stuff her dad used to do. We would go to a movie, and one of his favorite tricks, Colby, was to sit there and explain, "Well, this is wrong. That's the sound of a 2-cycle motorcycle, and it's a 4-cycle engine." And we're going, "Was it a motorcycle? Did they race around? It's not real. They didn't really shoot anybody. It's just, is it okay? Nope, that's the wrong sound for that airplane." He was just, you know, he really should have been a technical advisor for mechanics on the movies, because it upset him greatly when it was all wrong. But I think John was probably right there with him too, you know. So anyway, I just think that's very fun, that there's a real musical ability in the family.
How about 100 bottles of beer on the wall?
100 bottles
does that
of beer.
go back, huh? There's memories
yeah,
for
remember
you.
that? And then yeah, that's right, 100 bottles of beer on the wall. Well, if you ever went to camp, see, I went to camp. My name tags were sewn in all the clothes, and I no sooner got out of boarding school than we were off to camp. And incidentally, the reason you use a pen is so you can see where you've been. You can push hard enough. Can you see how this is transferring on very nicely to the canvas? And then if you decide to do it again, then use a different colored pen so that you've known where you are, kind of. This is one of the tricks. So yeah, we went to summer camp. Every summer I used to go to this camp called Four Winds.
Four Winds?
Orchid Island. And it was for 2 months. 2 months. All the other kids probably stayed a couple weeks. My mother had figured out they'd take me for 2 months, and that's where we went. And we had there were 6 kids to a cabin. My sister also went, but she was like 3 years older. And they discovered that no one knew I was a sleepwalker. But the counselor noticed I was up and gone and walking along the cliffs like some sort of ghost out of Gone with the Wind or something. And she'd have to get up and find me, and then she was afraid to go to sleep for fear that one of her charges would just sleepwalk right off the edge of a cliff. I don't know, that was the only time I ever did it. It must have been very stressful at camp, all I can tell you. All right, so now let's see, here we go. But we learned some great camp songs. That's what the point of all this. We learned some awesome camp songs.
I knew there was a reason we were going down this memory lane.
Yeah, awesome camp song. And then great poems too. Like, you want to hear a poem?
Oh, I'd love to hear a poem.
All right, so I love this one. 2 little waves came rushing to the shore. One died with a yawn, the other with a roar. I mean, this was thousands of dollars to teach me this stuff, you guys.
Okay, so we're also going to do poetry with our singing.
Yeah, poetry, singing could happen, right? And I told this one, John and I were on a holiday, and sometimes when you go to the beach, it's interesting to see, who goes to the beach and what they're wearing. And one of my first poems I think ever learned as a kid was, "When pompous people irk me with their regal attributes, it pleases me to imagine how they'd look in bathing suits." But now that we're living in glass houses, we can no longer. This was at a time when we all looked pretty good in bathing suits. Can't really tell that's poem so much anymore. It's a little bit like living in glass houses, so to speak. What am I doing here? I'm just needing.
No. Can you grab that Sorrel? Do you have the?
Oh, it's called, yeah, the transfer stuff?
Did I take that
Yeah,
away
it's,
from you?
it's up there. You took it over there. It's put up on the wall there. We're happy to show it to you. I
They want
like
to see
these.
it and it doesn't mess up your painting.
Yeah, see, it doesn't mess up your painting. It comes in 5 colors, and here's the deal about it. This particular package for, I think it's under $7 or something from Amazon. There's 5 different, under $10. It comes with 5 colors: white, gray, yellow, red, and blue, depending on what you're using, and you can use it over and over again. Okay. And so it also comes in like a wax paper kind of roll, but honestly, you get yards of that stuff. It's a lifetime worth of one color, and that's expensive. And then you've got to have more than one color, because sometimes on a light background you want a dark thing or white or whatever. So anyway, this is what we've got. We tried to use some blue here, and you can see how, then your transfer thing, you just put it in a filing cabinet somewhere, and someone says, "That is so nice. You don't look busy. Would you paint me one?" You don't think, "Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to draw this out again," or where is this? You've got it. So now, all right, so let's come up here, and I'm going to put some glasses on so I can possibly see what I'm seeing here. Like that, see what I'm seeing? All right, so we're going to start off with a little white paint. This is a little brush. I wiped it off. It's a little 1/2" ruby satin silver brush. Cinnamon also has these angle brushes in her kit. So we're going to stay here, and we're going to just...
Is that the 3/8 inch?
That's the, yeah, 1/2 inch.
1/2 inch.
It's the 1/2 inch. It happened to be handy. 3/8 would have been fine, too. I'm just going to paint, start with some of the white on these flowers, all right? And just this is titanium white. Nothing special about it. Oh, you guys, though, I'm sorry, I'm going to throw this person under the bus, and I apologize profusely. But somebody wrote me the other day and said, "By the way,
oh, I love
what's
this one.
the deal with the mixing white, the zinc white? Zinc white." She says, "I can't get it off my brush. It won't come off. What do I do? Do I need turpentine? What?" And here she's doing an oil painting and acrylic painting, and she bought... she didn't look at the label. I've done that too. Have you ever done that, where you just thought you were buying acrylic, because the brands sometimes they'll carry both acrylic and oil, and you end up with an oil painting tube instead of acrylic, and that's what happened to this lady. She ended up with a oil painting tube of paint.
Is that what she ended up using?
Well, you can't do anything. There's nothing to be done. Just scrape it off and maybe take turpentine on the canvas and try to get every bit of it off, because if there's any left, you might as well forget it. Acrylic paint does not paint over oil. Oil can paint over acrylic, but you can't go back and forth with it. Even water-soluble oils, people, they're still oils. So
We have a question. Are Cinnamon's new brushes the same stiffness as the Ruby Satins?
No, they're not. These were designed for, there is an angled one in this brush here. Here's an angle. I'll use one of these. That's not the angle. There's an angle in this. Here's my little jar of them. Let's see, here's an angle. And I like it. This is the first long-handled angle anybody's ever made. And remember, I'm right on top of this. If I were painting on my easel behind me, I'd be back here with the brush. But I'm climbed up on the brush because I'm sitting right here. But this is the, let me just put this away and I'll show you. No, they don't. This is a little bit stiffer. And actually, let's just paint a couple of these flowers with this one, and I'll show you. You get a finer edge. Absolutely, look at that edge. In fact, I've got a video coming out. Where's my picture? Coming out when are we doing this, Friday?
We're shooting for Friday.
We're shooting for Friday.
It's still compiling.
It's still compiling. We're putting, it's free, but some of it will be up on YouTube because it's so long, and the rest will be, you can go over to our website to find it because the upload time is extraordinary. And every bit of it was used with these nice little, all the Art Sherpa brushes, these red ones. And this is, I love that. This is all made by Silver. And again, I'm going to say this again, these are the Cadillac. This is the Ferrari of the brushes. There's just...
what if you're a Toyota person?
Well, I don't know to say to you, John.
Huh.
If you're a Toyota person.
Maybe I don't want the Ferrari.
Well, I mean, we're talking about in essence of time and effort and quality. This is what we're referring to. and ease of painting. Now look here, look at the beautiful edges I'm getting with this one. Like that. We'll just keep coming here like this. This is our first coat of white. Takes a little while to sort of put these in, but it's well worth the time. We're just doing a little bit of the white paint. What happens with these, the ones that Cinnamon got done, and they went through all these different filaments. This is the first time this filament has ever been on any brush, and it really holds the paint. Can you see how much paint this is holding? And again, just like that big one I used, which is really cool. We come up here like that. I'm leaving just a little bit of a space between the lines here. Do you see it? So I don't lose my flower. And because you've got something for the center. And each time I do a flower, I'm getting new paint. That's one of the things people don't think to do. The reason I like these angles is because you've got the ability to get in tiny spaces and then also cover larger areas. So here's the bottom part of this.
Jason would like to know, what is the purpose of painting oils over acrylics?
Oh, because acrylics dry fast, oils don't take very long. So suppose you're a portrait painter and you got to do some underpainting and tones anyway. So if you're going to do portraits, because of the way oils blend like pastels, they make really nice for portraits, really, you're talking about the fancy portraits, right? So what you do is a lot of oil painters will paint 90%, 99% of their painting with acrylics, and then they'll just do a top coat of oils, and then if anybody asks what it is, they'll tell them it's an oil painting, which is. And also, and oil paintings, for some people, when you tell someone it's an oil painting, it has, the public is really uninformed about most things, and it has a perceived value of being slightly better than, say, a non-oil painting. If you want to know, for instance, here's the deal. I have been in art galleries where some of the best watercolor artists in the world hang. I was in Hawaii at an art gallery, and I was looking at that, and John did watercolors. He'll back me up. If you can paint watercolor for like 4 or 5 hours, maybe days, and then you screw up one thing, it's gone.
Yeah.
Watercolor is really hard to do. Everybody thinks it's easy. Give the kid a watercolor set, but it's really, the professional watercolor is terribly difficult.
You have to really think out the full painting.
They do not command the money that an oil or an acrylic painting will. And generally speaking, oils command slightly more money than an acrylic painting. So if you're sitting there and you're in the business of selling art, which you may be, I don't know, maybe you are, right? Let's see, I think I've got a leaf coming down here like this. A petal coming this way, I can't tell. Yeah, maybe
Somebody's
this way.
asking, oh, we just lost our feed.
What?
Our feed's gone, I have to reset it.
Okay.
Should be back now.
All right, we're back. I want you to notice that I had painted this petal with I'm going to just put that brush away with the ruby satin, and this is the I'm going to kind of repaint over the white here.
Somebody wanted to know on the blue lines, if you don't paint over them, can you remove them, or do you need to paint over them?
You need to paint over them. They don't come off.
Okay.
You can't remove them, no.
I didn't think they could.
Now, if you wanted to remove, no, and particularly
And we're
like
gone
blue,
again.
no, you can't really. You got to paint over them. At some point, you're going to paint over them. You could have done white also. By the way, hey, heads up, and then you wouldn't have to take away anything. So, for sure, you could have done that. All right. So now, while that's drying, look at how pretty those flowers are against this green background. That's really nice. So we're going to rinse this brush off, and maybe I'll grab one of these others here. This is one of her number 10.
Andrew's on. He says the brushes are fantastic, so worth it.
Who's on?
Andrew.
Oh, yeah. Oh, good. Thanks, Andrew. I'm glad you're saying that because that's terrific. All right, so here's some burnt umber. Now I'm using, just going to come around here, and I want to bring my brush strokes around in a circle. I'm not painting it this way. You see that? And this is burnt umber. And I want you to see, this is another one of these, this is a number 10 bright. But I want you to see how beautifully this paints. You see that? Now just keep...
Wait.
Can you see it? Are we out? Something
Well,
else?
I was zoomed in, but I was typing, and I didn't realize you were down there. I got you now, though.
All right, so see what I'm doing here? Now I'm just coming around where this leaf's going to go.
Oh, look at that sharp line.
Yeah, look at the sharp line. These are these. Look at how this cuts in here. Look at that.
Wow.
I mean, that is absolutely awesome, isn't it? And it really does. And you can use just one corner of the brush like this because it's so stiff. You know, you can come in here like this, just the way I do my angles now. Do you see that? And do that. Now I want to just keep following this curve here. You want to. This is like putting grooves in a record. If anybody you remember what records are, someone's going, "What is she talking about?
What are records?"
Yeah, but for those of us who remember what records were, this puts grooves in it, and it's very helpful for the next time you're painting something. Let's see. I need to come a little bit lower right here. Yeah. All right. So now we've got that. Now. That's all I need to do with this one. That brush is going to go in water for a while.
I would like to make a comment about the varnish brush that Cinnamon has in her set. Since I get to do the varnishing, that is one marvelous brush. And Sam and I will be doing a video on that as soon as we get a little more caught up on our lessons here. But that is a treat to use.
Okay, so now the next thing we're going to be painting is here's a number 10, or I guess it's an 8. This is the Art Sherpa Bright, another bright one.
Is that which one is called the Goldilocks brush?
The Goldilocks was.
I mean, it even says that on it now. I saw that the other day.
Yeah, this was the last one we just used for the brown. This is the Goldilocks brush.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Now, you guys want to know the story on the Goldilocks brush. If you people want to know what that is. About 2 years ago, when I was still teaching at Jerry's, a rep came in from one of the paint companies, and she had some sample brushes, and she gave me one, and I loved it. And I was over doing a Thanksgiving and a live show at Cinnamon's for Thanksgiving a couple years ago, and I left the brush over there, and I never saw it again. And Cinnamon liked it so much, she called it her Goldilocks brush. And you know, they sold a lot of them. The problem was that the one that they made that I had was, maybe the reason she gave it to me, it was slightly different than anything else they sold. And so Cinnamon had this Goldilocks brush designed the way where the Oops brush was. And she calls it her Goldilocks brush, which is kind of neat. All right, we're taking a little bit of yellow oxide and a little bit of ultramarine blue, making sort of a lime green color, but kind of more of an olive. And we're going to come up here like that. And look at this a little bit more blue here. Look at the way I'm able to cut this. Look at how this leaf is cutting in. Normally I would use an angle brush for this, but I want you to see how this brush, this bright brush, is cutting in. Isn't that amazing? Look at that. Can you see that, John?
Yes, I'm close up and personal.
Yeah, that's really cutting in nicely, isn't it? And you just think, well, I'm her mom, and I'm telling you, and I love her. So if I didn't like him, I just wouldn't talk about him at all. But I'm a town crier when it comes to stuff I like. Just really like these. Let's get a little more blue on that.
Tanya would like to know, is there a difference between antique white from Matisse and titanium buff from Golden?
I don't know.
See, she's honest. No idea.
No idea.
Not a clue.
If you think about it, if you go to the paint store, I'm going to put a little more yellow oxide in this one right here. Look at that. Look at how it's just dropping it on there. Look at that nice little edge. If you go to, in the paint store, right? You guys are with me, okay? And they start off with white paint, and they have like 1,000 different shades of off-white, And then white is what people put on ceilings, okay? But nobody actually puts white paints on the wall. So the point I'm making is it's pretty easy to tint a white to make it do anything. I mean, yes, you can buy the color, but can you not, you could tint it too, just saying. All right, now we're going to do a little bit of the yellow oxide here on this and put a little leaf on here. This is nice. I got to tell you, John, I'm having this is nice. Look at that.
You just like Daniel was last night with that brush. Now I used that brush on the 4x6s, and it was nice. Or what are they, 6x8s?
I'm going to slip around here and put a little bit of yellow with that, a little bit more yellow. Lighten this up a little bit. I'm just going to say I've got a little brush here. A little bit of yellow on here like that.
So you can be bouncing around. Let me zoom back out.
Zooming out. I'm just kind of zooming around. Now, here's the thing. Wherever there's a light, there's a dark. Does that make sense to you guys? We've all talked about this. Wherever there's a light, there's a dark. So when everything's the same value, or remember and I thought that was so interesting what Daniel said last night was, when you talk about a value scale, black and white, you can't count those basically, but they said 99% of your paint colors are here. So even though you're using all these fancy colors, you don't have any contrast because you've been playing here. So you have to think about your contrast. And the easiest way I can tell you to do that, we're going to just use this small one now, this little, this is a number 4 bright, okay? We're going to make a darker color, so take a little bit of phthalo blue, a little bit of burnt umber, a little bit of yellow, a little bit of magenta, and we're going to make kind of a darker green color. Let's put a little yellow oxide with that, come up here like that. That's nice. That's a nice dark green color, maybe a drop of purple. There we go. Now, what I'm going to do to get this to show up is I'm going to make it a little darker around these flowers. Now, this is a little trick. People don't realize that this is one of the things you can do. And then if I use the flat of the brush like this, I'm going to blend all this out in a minute. But I need this to be a little darker here, maybe a little bit darker here, but not next to this log, you see? So then I might come up with just a little bit of yellow, come this way. Now then I'll wipe the brush off. See me wipe it off. Then I'll use the side of it and just kind of smudge that out. And I want to leave this light here. Kind of smudge this out with the side of the brush like that. Blend that out into this area, see? So we're talking about how to put shadows in. Same thing here. We want these flowers to show up here, yeah? So we're going to come under here like this, and this is where these brushes are so cool because it is cutting in just beautifully. Absolutely cutting into where I need it to do. And I'm going to come around here like that. And I want a little bit, now side of the brush like this, get a little bit of the lighter green color like that. Just blend this out, pinch it. No stripe ties, okay? Just sort of blend out these colors like that. And there we go, like that. All right, so we're going to blend that around. And now you see how these flowers are showing up. Maybe we'll make it a little darker going this way too. Okay, and the same thing down in here. This is a very interesting painting when you do it like that. Everybody thought this was going to be a hard painting. It's actually very simple. It's just knowing when to do stuff, okay? That's the trick. Then keep the brush flat like that, and then just pinch it, use the side of it, and just melt those together. Okay, so that you've got this nice, darker background on this side. Come over here like this, the same thing under here. Okay, now is when I come back to, let's see, even a little white here. When I come back to this area, because it's by my log, I want that lighter. Do you see that? So by my log, I'm going to say that there's, ooh, that's pretty, a little bit of light. Look at that. We're going to say there's a little bit of light area right along like that. Now look how I can drop this light edge. Do you see in that? Isn't that cool? And then just come back and just lighten that up there. Okay, so now suddenly these plants are showing up. Okay, I like that. And kind of maybe something a little darker back in here like that. Just, again, this is the old adage, wherever there's a light, there's a dark. So if you want your white flowers to show up, consider adding a darker color near them, like that. So let's see, and I think we want a little bit darker up here. Now I'm going to just put a little water on the brush, wipe it off, and there's enough paint on here where I can just sort of stain some of this maybe, even like that. Okay, there you go. So that's nice. I think I want it darker down here too, maybe down here in this corner. Like that. All right, so there you go. And then maybe a little bit under here, just a little bit, because what's going to happen is we're going to make this light here. So switching brushes again. This is fun. I've got all these brushes out. You want to see what I've got out here so far? See? All my little brushes.
Oh yeah, we love when you use all the brushes.
I know, because John cleans them at the end. He's just going, I'm so excited you're doing that.
Teresa would like to know, would a side load of the white mixture by the log work as well?
What a side load. I don't know. what a side load is. I'm going to turn this upside down.
That's when you're just putting the paint just on one edge of your brush and run it around the edge.
Yep, that's true. Now we need to get some light coming this way, so we're going to take some white and a little brown, like that. Let's take a little bit of cad red medium, a little bit of cad yellow medium, make an orange. Take a little brown with that, make a little, let's see, a little more brown, burnt umber. Okay. Now let's just come here like this, pull and lift. See, here's the edge of this. We're going to pull it and lift around and kind of curve it. Don't go all the way up to the top. Just start it. To me, it's easier to pull up like that. We're going to just come here in the, this is her Goldilocks brush. We're going to just pull it here and then pull. See what I'm doing? And just push and then lift. And get more paint. Push and lift. Okay, and then get a little more white paint. Because some of this is lighter right here and barely touch it now. Let's get some. I think I'm out of white paint. This is what happened. Where did we put that stuff? Well, it's amazing how fast you go out of paint. And we again, incidentally, we had a very nice contribution the other day that came in the mail. Do you remember the lady's name, John?
I did have that at one time.
He's going to be looking for that. Anyway, thank you very much.
And speaking of that, we'd like to thank Victoria for the donation just made right now.
So thank you very much. And anyway, we got that. We didn't get it for about a week because we were out of town on holiday, but we're back. And now look, I've just got a little bit of white paint on this, and I'm pushing and then pulling up. Do you see that? Pulling up.
It was available too.
There you go, pulling up like this. And I think I want something a little oranger. A little bit there. Let's get a little bit of more of an orange color. Maybe a tiny bit of purple with that. Brown that out. There we go. Let's just pull some of this. You got the name? Liz Clark. Liz Clark. Thank you so much from the bottom of our heart. And she wrote this beautiful note. Dear Ginger, this is a small token of appreciation for what you were teaching me via YouTube. So buy a few more tubes of paint so you can teach me yet more. Warm regards, Liz Clark. And that is just beautiful, and that's one of her paintings. Look at that.
Slide that up a little bit so we can see it. There we go.
That is gorgeous. Liz, thank you
That looks like
very much.
the lavender fields.
It does. Beautiful. So honestly, that is just so nice. So we so appreciate that, and we appreciate, during the live shows, it's possible to actually, do a cash donation, $1 even. And then you even have your question featured. And it's a nice thing to do. Once the recordings you can't do it, but in live show you can. Now look here, see how beautifully that's coming along like that. So all right, so while that's doing its thing, which is let's just tone that white down a little bit now with this brush. There you go. That's doing its thing. There's our branch. That was your Goldilocks number 10. Okay. Now
You did a beautiful job.
Now we're going to come back to the. Let's see. I'm going to turn this right side up. So now what we want to do is we want to shade some of these flowers so they show up. So let's take some white and take a little bit of ultramarine blue and a little bit of magenta. That's kind of pretty. And let's add some yellow to that. Yellow grays purple. Did you know that?
I knew that.
Why is that? And the reason that is because yellow is opposite blue on the color wheel, or purple on the color wheel. So when you add anything, any color opposite to its mate on the color wheel, what they call a complementary color, what happens is that it tones the color down. If you mix them 50-50, you get kind of mud. Somebody says, how do you? So we're going to come in here like this with a little bit of this shadow color here on our white here, and then maybe underneath here like that. And we're going to do a little bit of shadow color.
We'd like to say thank you to Miss Evans for the donation to our worthy cause.
Oh, thank you guys. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Okay. So, and I think I might even want a little more ultramarine blue with that. Turn it just. Now I'm using the soft ruby satin silver brush, and the reason was I want a very soft brush for this because I want to suggest this color. And here, I like this one right here. See in the center here, we're going to just do this, almost like an X. The same thing here. We're just saying this petal is in front of these ones, so we're going to cause a little shadow to happen. And maybe right under here too, like that. We're going to say there's a shadow.
Frisky Christie just made a donation. Always love the Spice Girls. The art and chat too. Go get yourself some nummy treats and coffee.
Love that. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. We appreciate it. Oh, I have a public service announcement.
Oh, oh.
All right, so I had no idea, you guys, because years ago, well, 2 years, last year, it wasn't even years ago. Last year, I had my good coffee machine broke, my really nice commercial one, and so then I went out and bought one of those Keurigs, right? And you know, I have like 1 or 2 cups coffees a day, right? I mean, and I'm the only one that uses it. John doesn't drink coffee, but let's see, a little bit of magenta with this now. Let's get a little peach color going here, and a little bit of a pink in here now. Let's just just a tiny touch of that color in here. Just, you know, this is like the 2-color whammy here. And anyway, somebody was telling me on holiday that that what did they say, you can, if they get like a mold or something?
Oh, hold it. We lost the feed. Give it a second. It says it's good. I'm waiting to see it come back on Sammy's camera, on his page. And you're back.
Okay, we're back. All right. So what they were saying is that you have to clean those, or I think it came up because somebody said, "How come you never drink iced tea when you eat out?" And I said, because years ago, Marvin Zindler, back in 1988 in Houston TV, talked about slime in the ice machine and the iced tea machines, and he basically said if you wanted to be safe eating out, just drink the powdered iced tea, which is disgusting, you know, the kind in gas stations. He says his recommendation was to avoid it because because they were not cleaned well, and it was like playing Russian roulette with them. Okay, so that was interesting. And I've got a little phthalo blue on my brush now, and a little bit of white, and just adding this 3rd color here. We did pink, and now I'm just touching a little bit of this phthalo blue. That's why all these pictures are so nice. All right. So anyway, so they were saying that could happen to your Keurig machine, and that you actually had to, if you clean them, they said once a month they recommended you actually run them through some sort of cleaning cycle with what they say, vinegar or something.
Yeah,
I don't know. You have to look that up, how you clean it. I don't know, but it would never have occurred to me. So, you know, I've always been so careful about the iced tea. All right, here's a little bit of, I'm using just the angle brush now, like this. And I'm going to lighten this up here. Here we go, like that. Just a little bit of yellow oxide over this dry. And let's take a little bit of white paint and yellow oxide. Mix this like this, and let's just give this a stem. Wow, I don't like that. Do not like that stem. How did I do that? Let's erase it. Look at that. Do you see how I'm erasing it? A little bit of water. Here, where's that other one? Where's that fancy brush of cinnamons? Let's try this angle one for the stem, because I wasn't happy with that. All right, let's try this. Let's see what I'm getting. Oh, there we go. Aha. All happy now. Oh, look at that. Are you guys impressed? Look at that.
Is that the angle?
That's the angle. I'm going to put a little white with it so it's a little bit lighter. Look at that. Isn't that cool? That's nice. I mean, I got some nice sharp lines with that. And I think let's going to make a little more yellow here and green. A little bit of magenta to tone it down. A little bit of white. I want a little bit of a green line here in the center of this leaf, and I want a little bit of green right here. That's nice. Oh, isn't this nice? Look at that. Maybe we'll just come around like that with this one. Oh, I'm liking this brush. Cinnamon, you rock. Look at that. You know, anytime you don't have to paint something over is a good day. You know what I mean? Because you didn't get it right. I mean, yes, acrylics you can dry it and paint it over, but who wants to do that?
You see that dice in front of you there in the little bowl?
I see the dice. All right, is it time to play art trivia?
It is time to get a trivia question in before we lose the crowd.
All right, so number 6, John.
Ooh, a mystery question. I love the mysteries.
Well, I know you do, but some of us don't do well with those. I don't do well with the mysteries. But this is art education. For those of you new to us or watching this, we try to do, like on the live shows when we can. We didn't do it last night because of Daniel, but we try to do, make this a little darker, this art trivia game, which we think is really fun, and we hope you enjoy it. Okay, let's just darken this up in here like that. Remember this old thing, wherever there's a light, there's a dark. So if you want a leaf to show up, darken something else.
I have a quote.
Okay?
Sammy, any chances of mom shirts being for sale? Yes, we are working on mom shirts being for sale.
Yeah, you know, there's so many things to do. We even have them set up. All we have to do is call up the guy, and then, because we can put a store on our site, then we'll put a store on his site, and he will mail them directly. And here's a question. We can't decide which shirts to do. Would you like shirts of, like, for instance, you know, of our paintings, of, you know, some artwork, some, you know, the kind of thing I do with paint tubes, so, you know, I can design something like that. You know, Gingerisms, quotes. What kind of things would you like to see on a shirt? I guess that's the question, right?
The quote. This is the mystery question, number 6. Complete this quote by Picasso. It took me my whole life to learn how to draw without hands, like a child, my face. Dee, 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 dee,
You think they'll subscribe if you don't sing anymore?
What? Okay, here we go again. Complete this quote by Picasso. It took me my whole life to learn how to draw without hands, like a child, my face. And the answers are coming in right now. Ann's going like a child. Evans, I guess, like a child. Kim Sung, as you would say, a child. I'd like to see the kind of shirts like whatever you wear. Like a child, like a child, like a child. They must have paint splattered on them. Back to the t-shirts. Like a child, my face. Gingerisms. Like a child, like a child, I don't know. Yes, and every shirt has one spot of real ginger cook paint on it. I want purple. Like a child, yes, Wendy, gingerisms. Like a child, uh-oh, I must be a bit behind. We added our own splatters. Child by Barbara, and Miss Cass is saying child. Kim Sims going back to gingerism and paint splatters. Debbie is like a child.
Okay, so while you guys are doing that and answering the question, I'm going to guess like a child.
Oh, are you going out on a limb or what?
No, I think that's because, I mean, when you see, yeah, because listen, this man could paint. People look at Picasso stuff and, you know, the one-eyed kind of weird things that he did, but I promise you that he could do photorealism. He was like one of the best artists ever, and was trained with the, you know, the Spanish School of Art. I mean, guy was a genius. Anyway, he could really paint. All right, what we're going to do here was we're going to take some of this, where you're going to use this Art Sherpa, a nice stiff brush, and we're going to come up here like this, and we're going to make these, let's get this a little more orange, make it like a kind of a magenta yellow color. Come up like this, and oh, look at the thin lines I can get. Are you guys impressed with this brush?
I really thought you did it with a Picasso pen.
I know, but I'm liking this. All right, so now we're going to come up here like this. This one I'm going to put just a little bit of this orange color in it on the base of this one. Then I'm going to pinch the brush and get white paint, which I'm totally out of.
Again,
and then I'm going to show you this trick. So here's this one, and then we're going to take some white and then pull it through like that. A couple of different ways to do this. And let's do this one. Again, we're going to pull this through here like that. These little spikes. I've got some water there. And then
the answer was like a child, and if you guessed right on that, you do get yourself 1,000 points added to your collection.
And let's do this like this. There we go. And the same thing here. This one had some white ones here. This was interesting. There were little lighter ones like this on this flower. See, they're going out almost like little cat whiskers. Look at that. Isn't that cute?
Jerry says, one person says, Jerry doesn't have that brush. Where do I get it?
The brush guys. The brush guys have them. And again, you can go to the Art Sherpas. You go to the teacher's page. We don't have them on our page yet, but you can still use our code. Probably can get them on Cinnamon's, the Art Sherpas page, but you can use our code, Ginger Cook, to get your 5% discount. Which, you know, I think who doesn't love a discount, right? So you can do that. Okay, and they just, look at that, isn't it, you've kind of scooped in on that, right, John?
We are right on it.
Now I'm going to use the corner of this, and I've got the Cad Red medium, all right? Now using the corner of this brush, I'm just going to make these little dots, these little circles here. Don't ask me, I mean, there was a photograph, the way, I have permission to use the photograph, but it's a lot of trouble to get them to let me use it for live shows, so you got to trust me on this.
So those little dots were underneath the flower?
Yeah, there were some sort of little seed things that happened.
Huh.
I don't know what they are. I don't know. Who knows? But, I liked it. I liked the idea of it. I thought they were pretty. So I'm just taking a little Cad Red medium, using just the corner of this brush, holding it like that, and then just my arm is going around a little circle like that. Okay, and that's something over here, little purple things like that. And then I'm going to take a little bit of orange right like that and separate that leaf. I don't know why there's one there, but apparently there was one there. And then, you guys, this is so interesting. Let's take a little magenta with that. On the tips of these little things that we just did, there's these little dots. See that? Now look at that. Look, are you zooming in on this, John? Here's the secret. You see I did 5, right? Are you right here with me, John? Right here?
I am.
But what I'm going to do is I'm going to suggest more by changing the level of the dots and still putting some at the ends of the ones that I did. But it makes it look like I did more because I do the outside ones and then do a few in the middle like that. Look at that. Isn't that cute? And a little more paint, and we're going to say...
And you're just using the corner of that brush?
Just the corner of that brush. And, I know a lot of people would think that you would use a little fine brush to do these, but this to me really works well like that. Look at that. I just love that. Maybe I'll brighten these up. I think I want a little bright yellow with that. Here's a yellow. Lighten these up a bit. Wherever there's a light, there's a dark. See, if nothing's showing up, change colors. That's one of your little secrets. Here, and I'm going to rinse the brush now because stuff's drying in it. You've got to rinse your brush every once in a while, and then you wipe out all the extra water out. Now let's go back to the Cad Red medium. Here, maybe with a little magenta. And let's finish these little dots here on our flowers.
Is this the only angle brush she offers?
Yeah, then this is the only one they made. And well, I think she also has one of these in one of her kits. And of course you can get these ruby satin silver angle brushes on our website. Or not on our website, but on the Brush Guys. And yeah.
Lori would like to have a painting of Sammy on a surfboard for a t-shirt. I think that would be an excellent idea.
Yeah,
and I think the bear will pose for that. Oh, Kathy is giving us the 2 cat tongue brush numbers from Jerry's are listed as filberts. It's a V27598 and a V27599. For those that are looking for those.
Thank you. All right, so you see our flowers here? Now, what do we need to do? Well, we're going to sit there and we're going to say wherever there's a dark, there's a light.
We need to back out so we can see what we're working with.
All right, so you see these leaves here do not show up. Do you see that? They're not showing up.
They're pretty close to the same tone.
So what we're going to do is come back in next to them with some dark brown. Make sure I've got all the light paint off my brush and really washed it. And we're going to come back under here like this. Now look, see? Now suddenly you're seeing them. Do you see what I'm saying? So what you have to do is go back with your painting, and maybe I want something very dark under here. Don't be afraid to go back with your darks. Right like that. See? Look at that. So now you see these leaves because we darkened this branch here. All right, like that. So we can see that. And then I'm trying to think, do I need anything lighter under here like that? Do I need to come around here with a few of these going this way? Look at that.
It really makes it look round.
Yeah, that's the whole secret here, you guys. And just something like this coming up.
Steffi would like to have John's gecko on a t-shirt. I think that's a wise choice.
Okay. Of course you would. You know, I'm just going to say I've got this a little bit darker under this flower right here. Suggest that this this is a second area of dark right like that. And all right, so you see we're just about done on here, and the only thing I'm doing now is just going back and looking for light and dark areas. Now look how I don't know how long this took to do. What, about an hour? Aren't you
Just
guys kind
about
of
an hour.
impressed?
Yeah,
Huh?
well, you said you could do it in an hour.
Yeah, well, I mean, but I think sometimes people think that there's some, you know, it must be harder than it is. And I think you can feel pretty confident when you're painting something like this that you can just give, you know, don't overthink it. How's that? Just don't overthink it. I mean, don't, you know, you can do a few little things here and there, but try not to overthink it. I think you'll be happier if you just stay loose like this and do a painting. And, you know, whether you're doing a painting like this or you're coming to become a member of our gallery, and maybe you're going to tackle this one next week, this week we're going to be releasing this one with the glass jar and the peaches and everything. What I love about the technique to do this isn't any harder than doing this. It just might take you a little longer. Really, honestly, and I gotta say, we meant to show, we didn't. Tina Bond, you know, Tina did a beautiful Venice piece, really good, and I meant to show you, you know, how somebody was wondering how art critiques work. She had a beautiful painting, really perfect, and one little thing with the boat, the perspective on the boat was off, and I pointed that out in a helpful, you know, email back and forth, and you know what, her painting was perfect. And that's the kind of thing you get with personal art coaching. And you can send me, even in an original piece every month, your own design, as long as you, what I really want from you is some sort of, where did you come up with that idea? Did you see it somewhere else, or is it a photo you found? I mean, how did you come up with it? Sometimes you can, here's the thing, I can't teach, for instance, I couldn't go into, say, a painting of Thomas Kincaid and just put it up here and teach it. But if you found a picture of his and you want it for your own personal use, you could paint it and you could send it to me for art coaching, and I could tell you how to improve it. Does it make sense? I mean, I'm not publishing or anything like that, and it's for your own personal use. You can't go turn around and sell that kind of stuff, you know. You know, that's frowned upon. You know, copies. You know, but our old dead artists we can, because after 100 years the copyright stuff just goes away. So, you know, this is why we feature a lot of the old dead guys. That still life painting was from one of our old dead guys. I love that, don't you? Old dead guy.
I'm sure they appreciate it. You have a flower on the right that's missing its dots. The one in between the middle one between, put your finger out there, on the right.
Oh, you're right. Thank you.
That wasn't me. That was the entire staff watching you.
Okay. This is, you know, there was a time when I used to sell my artwork. Where's my angle brush? Angle brush. That wasn't it. Where was it? Where did we put it? Gosh. You know what I need to do? Oh, here it is. I need to put a piece of tape on the angle one that I can grab it easily. Don't you think so?
Yeah.
You know, just... All right, so I'm putting my little dots. Thank you very much. I would not have seen that. Perfect.
Susan would like to know, are there old dead ladies?
You bet. But nobody ever heard of them. America Set is one of them. We have a bunch of her stuff
we
on
like
our
her
website.
stuff. Hers is
beautiful, beautiful stuff. She did a lot of people. We're starting to get more into people. We have I haven't shown you guys because I wasn't sure how this would go on Facebook, but we've got on our website.
This is YouTube.
Yeah, that's right, YouTube. But I wasn't, well, we put it on Facebook, but we didn't put it on YouTube because we have sponsors, right? But we've done some of Renoir. We've gotten one beautiful Renoir nude. We have a lesson for it. It's not for everybody, but it's not something you're interested in doing. More people. We're starting to put more people on our members site for them to do. Also, we have a Wave and Water Masterclass, which just, you don't have to be a master to paint it, but you can master water by just every month, you know, getting in depth. What did we paint? What did we paint this month? It was pretty in depth to show you guys sometime.
Sometime.
Nothing is around here where I could hand anything neat to you. But that being said, I'd say we did pretty well on this live show. We still got the feed. We have any questions we can answer, John, before we, you know, call it a night?
I don't think we've been answering them as we've been going. We'll give them a moment or two to.
I think there's a leaf right here.
I believe
forgot.
Cinnamon is still with us.
Oh, is she?
Yes.
Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you. So, all right. So we're going to give maybe we're going to give a shout out to Cinnamon and.
Now she's been
and
live
Spider.
every day.
Cinnamon has been live every day. This is like a marathon thing. You know how hard that is to do and come up with new wonderful artwork. And she's been live every day, and she'll be live, I think, every day for the next 3 weeks. And she goes live in the mornings, you guys. If you get a chance to watch it, of course, it's still recorded, so you can see it later. So if you haven't seen it and that stuff, and she's got, I think she told me that Southwest Week is Southwest something or other.
Yeah, she's doing Southwest this week.
This week is Southwest Art, and that's really pretty. There's been some beautiful paintings, really nice.
Now remember, if you don't want us to sing, subscribe.
Subscribe, yeah, we appreciate it. If you don't want us to sing, I think we did pretty well with our picture here. If I put them side by side.
Oh yeah,
this.
that's gonna not work.
Well, never mind.
Hold on, nope, I can do it.
Of course you can.
Do it here. No, wait a minute. Do top of top.
All
I'll
right,
turn
like
me
this.
I'll turn me
All
off.
right, so I think I got it
There we
pretty
go.
close. Don't you think so? I mean, no two paintings are going to be exactly the same, but I think that we've got
No, they look
pretty
good.
much the gist of how this works.
Those almost look like little holly berries underneath it.
Yeah, I know. It was weird. I don't know what kind of plant it was. I'm seeing now. See, when I'm looking at side by side, part of me wants to bring this up a bit right here like that. See? But that's easy. Just to pull that up. Look at that. So anyway, there we have it, you guys. Wherever there's a light, there's a dark. That's how you make stuff show up.
Christy would like to know, is there anything we can do with the white Matisse paint that we got in a jar that was like clay? Throw it out.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do with that. You throw that out, but you should have told them, and they would have replaced it with another jar.
We assume that you did tell them after we did that public service announcement.
Yeah, that they were, they were replacing it. They were pretty good. The thing about it is, and I'll tell you about jars of stuff in general. When you get a jar of paint, you better open it and make sure it's still good. That's
Yeah,
all.
we really appreciate somebody doing that because we just threw ours on the shelf.
Because sometimes you do it, and the other thing too is if you're buying paints, like for instance, if there's an art hoarder in you somewhere, and you sit there and say, oh, I can get all these tubes of whatever, I use this for, I'm going to buy all this stuff, or I'm going to buy all this tape. Date it. Date your stuff and use the oldest first.
Yes.
And sometimes it's you think of the hurricane coming, there might be nothing else I can do but paint. I better have lots of paint on hand. So good, sounds good, doesn't it? And then, the hurricane didn't come for 12 years, but you've been stacking up paint in case one did come. I don't know what you thought you were going to do during all that time, but because there's no air conditioning either. But that being said, you end up with a lot of paint, and maybe not all of it's good. So check your paint stocks every once in a while. Check
Rotate
them, see what
it.
you've got.
Make sure
Rotate
you-
your
yeah.
stocks. Rotate them out. All right, so I'm going to move this out of the way. This is our painting. I hope that you guys had fun with this. I think I will put this back up on. I think I found this on Paint My Photo. If I do, I'll put it in my gallery, and then you can see the actual painting photograph. But I'm not sure.
And we're classifying this as a 2 cookie.
Yeah, I think so. 2 cookie. And if tracing it on, it could be a 1 cookie. It's really not that hard. It's 1 cookies. On our website, we do a lot of small paintings that are little, 6 by 8. And the reason we do that in some of our beginning lessons is paint's expensive. Learn how to do stuff without spending a lot of money. Then paint something big. This would be stunning. I think maybe a little longer, 30 by, 24 by 30, something like that. Learn how to paint it little first. That's all. Learn how to paint it little. So Spider's still watching. Big hugs from Grandma. We appreciate it very much.
I would be surprised. It's a school day. It's now 9 o'clock. That kid better be in bed.
I bet he is. Yeah, we have, the kids really are loving school this year. All 3 of them are in school, so Cinnamon has a little time to paint. She's probably told you about it and do her live stuff. So anyway, Jerry's has got a special right now, and they've got the Art Sherpa brushes at Jerry's. The ones in Houston are coming, and of course the brush guys have them on. Check them. I think Dick Blick carries them. There's a lot of places that carry. Everybody's carrying these. And they've got her, and I like it because you can buy the sets or you can buy them individually, which is nice. Maybe you just want the 1 brush, and you know, when you buy one brush and then just start collecting everything, just the ones you want. And I just showed you a few of those. I didn't show you them all, but I have to say, this angle one is a must. If you don't have this angle one, you should get, I love this, really, honestly, this is a great brush. And really terrific. And let's see what I do with the tub of towel-y things. Here, I think this is my tub of towels. I'll clean this off.
Tub of towels. Hold the tub of towels under there. People want to know what you're using.
You know, I'm talking about these. This is what you get, how I clean my hands.
Slide it forward. Slide it forward. Thank you.
This is how I clean my hands. And what they've got aloe in them, but I haven't found anything like, for instance, can you see, like here, can you see that? This is going to just take this right off. And the same thing here. My fingers get pretty awful. And this just, this even cleaned up paint off the chair. I mean, I was just amazed because usually everything else I've ever tried for wipes, you know, leaves my hands feeling awful. There's a smell. There's no smell to these. I own stock in the company who makes this stuff. This is just great. And every art store should have those in here. Daniel couldn't believe it last night. He says, "Where did you get those? Man, those are cool, right?" I said, "I know." And then my friend, or Lorraine, who takes our lessons from me here locally, she says, "Well, I'm just really mad at you." I said, "Why?" She says, "Because I went to get them on Amazon and they were out." You know, so I don't have to tell you, it's just really good. But I mean, I want you to see how nice, and particularly if, you know, I used to just take a scrub brush. It's really hard on your hands. But this is pretty cool. Anyway, there we go. Look at, see, all that paint came out on the towel. All right, you guys, the last question, we're just going to say goodnight. Thanks very much. Please subscribe. We will look forward to the new painting this week on YouTube. We're going to release this probably Friday. Can you see that? Zooming out. Can you see
Yeah, I can after you. Don't.
Want me to leave it here?
That's fine.
All right, I love that. That's featuring all the Art Sherpa brushes.
There we go.
These new red ones, you know. And,
it's a beautiful painting.
Beautiful painting. It's not fall. Kind of reminds me of really Wyoming. Really.
We haven't named it yet.
But yeah, I need a name for this, you guys, because I have to have a name by Friday.
No. We have to have a name by tonight. In the comments, start giving us names for this one.
Thank you. We need a name.
All right, with that, we're going to say goodnight, Ginger.
Good night, John. Good night, everybody.
Good night, Sammy.
Good night, Cinnamon. Good night, everybody. Good night, Tonya. You know, night, Andrew. Glad you made it through the hurricane.
Didn't get blown away. All right, we're going to mute you out. I'm muted. We're going to go out with our intro because that's the only thing I've got done so far. So sit back and enjoy the claymation from Out of Tune Studios. Thanks, everyone. And now, without further ado, I have the distinguished honor and privilege of presenting to you the Queen of Color, the Mother of Artists, globally acclaimed, award-winning master acrylic artist, and the star of our show, Ginger Cook, as she once again mesmerizes her audience with the daring do's and don'ts of painting with acrylic.